share some more information.
Anything you want to add to, Kevin?
Hi, guys. As you guys know me, my name is Kevin, president of the Global Business Association. I'm also a part of Aviation Parts Executive. My father owns the business, and I kind of overrun the operations that we go through. And yeah, over here we have our QR check-in code for Aviation Parts.
You know, basically what Kevin was saying about the advantage of you studying or taking this major, right? Major in international business.
Yes.
and minor. You know, knowing about the business and international helps you understand, because sometimes we here in America, we're concentrated that the business here is like an easy transaction. You know, you just call a place, you order online, boom, you get it overnight, like Amazon and stuff like that. You know, where people are down south or anywhere else in the world, they need our services because they don't have a big supplier or provider of parts. I mean, mainly they depend on the U.S. for that. You know, we're the largest distributors and manufacturers of aircraft in the world. And also the parts, you know, they're manufactured here in the U.S., so that's a good thing for us. You know, but you also have to understand there's different cultures, there's different ways of dealing with customers in certain countries. They have different rules, and it becomes kind of a complicated sometimes to deal with a customer because you give them a price in US dollars, but they want to pay in their currency. It's like, we don't work with your currency, we take US dollars. So you have to understand that they are always like waiting for, since their currency fluctuates a lot sometimes. You know, sometimes they wait days or even weeks to process an order because they're waiting for them, you know, their money to be more worth more than it is now. You know? So we try to help them as much as we can. Also, you have to understand the rules about shipments and invoicing. You know, when you export an item, you have to create a documentation for export and to declare value and all that. You have to do it through the Department of Commerce, I believe it is. You got that information, Kevin, for exporting? Okay.
So we're gonna share some information with you guys.
Is everyone able to see this? Awesome, great.
The agility, the trust, the stability, the lift. The precision of all instruments, no matter the weather, direction, or attitude, unmutably. You must trust its source in the air that only AVAX can offer for you to go to any destination. Aviation Parts Executive, based in United States of America for over 2 decades, and also present in South America and Europe, with customers in all continents in the world, developing aeronautical intelligence and bespoke technology to improve flight efficiency, providing you with satisfaction, confidence, and security above all. Guaranteed.
Yeah, so that branch that shows on the videos is our branch in Brazil.
So you do this one and I'll do the following one. So guys, so essentially what we do, we wholesale aircraft parts for the general aviation. Essentially, it's just for, think of just private jets and helicopters, airplanes. And so we currently have 50 lines of distribution, and we serve 150 countries. At the moment, we have 10,000 part numbers, and a lot of mix of languages going around the office. It's always like either English, Spanish, or Portuguese. I think you guys can add on more to that.
Yeah, what Kevin was saying, since we have to deal with customers down south, I mean, like Brazil, for example, you gotta be able to speak the language, at least the basic knowledge in Portuguese, or Spanish, where the other nations. I'm lucky that I speak Spanish and Portuguese, so I can get by in any of those places when I go, and I can also get in trouble for saying what I'm not supposed to say. But it's fun, we participate in some trade shows, and that's how we acquire some of our customers, by connecting and visiting, and then customers learn to trust, and then our biggest marketing is the word of mouth. We take good care of our customer, he will give us links to other potential customers, and that's how our business has been growing for the last 20 years. We started off in a small office hangar at Executive Airport, and now we have over 25, 30 employees. We have our based office is here in Fort Lauderdale, where we have a total of 12 employees. It's a small crew compared to what we have in Brazil, which is like 25, 20 plus right now. We have 3 people working in our office in Asunción, Paraguay, and 2 sales reps in Mexico City, and we got 2 sales reps in Spain. Right now, currently, we're trying to expand our business. Since we started off, it was concentrated more into the international area, but we're trying to expand it now with our website, right? To be more local and also provide customers in the States. And that business, we're seeing a growth in the last, I want to say last 6 months. Okay.
Right, so I think the biggest difference that we make, because there is a lot of companies that do what we do, is that we can speak the client's language. Does anybody here speak out any other language? Bilingual here?
Wow.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so that's very good, because the difference is they can call us, email us, WhatsApp us on their language, and then what we do is like we buy the parts from the manufacturers and then we export to them. So this is the biggest plus that we have, that we be able to serve them, even though we live here and stay here, we can serve them on their language.
Our marketing approach is different than the actual way things are being done. Here in the US, I mean, you're based on Amazon all the time. You want a pair of shoes or shampoo or whatever else you think You just go online and order it. You don't need to speak to anyone. The customers down south are different. They want to speak to you. They want to give you their story. They want to tell you the whole process of their headache, So you have to hear the whole story. And like, just tell me what you need. I'll sell it to you. But it doesn't work that way for them. They just want to speak to somebody. They don't want just to order online and wait for their parts. They want to, so it becomes like a good friendship, relationship with our customers. And that's how we have succeeded down there. Yes, sir. We do not. We are distributors. We work in distribution. We represent companies that manufacturers. In order to sell part, you have to buy stock, keep it in stock to provide our customers. So you have to do like manage the inventories, lows and highs and lows, and make sure you have what you need. So it's hard because there's several different aircrafts and you can't have every single part in stock. So, and they understand that most of the time we don't have the complete order. They have to wait a week, 2 weeks. But now the way things are going with all this prices, sometimes it takes up to 6 months. And we've seen parts that take up to a year, so it's crazy, but that's the way it is right now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we have our main location, like I said before, is in Fort Lauderdale. We've been in our building since 2001. That's when we moved in. So we've been there for 21 years now. Aviation Parts Executive was founded back in 1998 by Aldo Paredes and myself. So we have created a good company to work for. And we started the office in Brazil. Actually, the second office we all opened up was in Paraguay because that's where Aldo's from. We have a pilot shop there. So we cover that area, and it was a strategic place for distribution in Paraguay because we have border. It was easier to import it to Paraguay than other nations. So we borderline with Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay. The customers from that region will come to our place and purchase stuff. But it became, kind of overwhelmed. So we started off in Brazil. So we ventured in Brazil. When was it? Exactly, I can't remember the date.
The office was open in 2015, but we have always served Brazil. So when
we
I
always-
started in 2008, most of my clients are in Brazil. So they opened up the business on 98 and I come on board in 2008. And we have served Brazil, even before me, they used to serve
Right,
Brazil,
right. Yeah,
but they
Brazil's
opened up
al-
the branch in 2015.
Brazil's always been a good market for us, so we have to stay on top of it. So that's why we started the office in a city called Belo Horizonte. And then we have a big building there. So we're importing, how much do we ship a year or weekly basis?
It depends, but every week, I guess we ship between 50 to 150, $200,000. It depends on the week. How good can we sell?
It's a big market, and for us being a small company, it's like a dime, those how huge Brazil is. So, and so it's important to have a good relationship with a country that big. Mhm. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. That's how we started off in Latin America. And by going to trade shows, we go to a trade show in before the COVID. Every year it was a trade show in Mexico. And then 2 trade shows in Brazil. And there's a trade show in Colombia. So we try to be present at all those trade shows because that's how we contact customers and they get to know us. This year was the first time we went to Germany.
Yes.
So, Oh, you got to go. you
Mr. Kevin got to go to Germany.
Yeah, first time we got to go to Germany. So, but mainly most of our customers are, we have a big clientele in Mexico, El Salvador, Honduras, some customers in Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, even Venezuela. The way things are going down there, we get a few customers. A lot of Argentinians and Chileans, they depend on us. Bolivia, Peru. So we pretty much cover most of the Latin American countries and the Caribbeans, Dominican Republic.
But we do serve a lot of local clients as well. And to your question, like last year we launched a website, and that website, it's 90% of it, it's from the US, and it's growing and it's growing. Like we've been having a lot of sales. So we do a lot of, inside sales as well. And also we have something that calls Parts Base, which is basic in America. And we use that website to sell it as well. We even hired an American to help us out.
Yeah, there's sometimes this parts in the aviation industry that, believe it or not, there are airplanes out there flying that they were built back in 1960, 1950s, and they are still asking for parts. And it becomes harder and harder to locate them. So we use tools like Parts Base or other sources to locate the parts that we need. And at this case, turns out that you can't find a new part, so you have to buy it rebuilt or used in good condition, and gotta hope it works. Hope for God that it works, Yes, sir. Sorry? Dominican Republic. I have a customer from Haiti, Bahamas every once in a while, and Puerto Rico. Mhm.
So that is some of the brands that we serve, that we represent. Gonna go over them really?
We, like I don't know if any of you recognize any of those brands up there. Like the, what this, they manufacture all the lighting for the aircraft, like the nav lights and taxi and landing lights, and then interior illumination. It's been manufactured. We've got Tempest, where they manufacture oil filters, spark plugs, vacuum pumps, which vacuum pumps require for the instruments for flying, and a bunch of other products that they make. I'm not gonna get into too many details. Garmin, all the avionics, like the GPSs. In your car will, aircrafts have GPSs, and communication, radios, transponders and all that. We got Gale batteries, that's just strictly batteries for the aircraft. Weldon Aerospace there. Yes. Go ahead. Yeah. Well, I started in aviation a few years back. If I go back in time, 1989. I was hired in a company in a warehouse. So I started, like learning the whole aviation area. And then I moved to Florida back in '94. That's how we met with Aldo. And I was working for another company as a salesman. So that's where we became friends, and the whole idea started like that, So yes. Well, so we got Lycoming and Superior, they're manufacturers of engine components. And Continental, I'm sorry. There's three manufacturers, like Lycoming and Superior are the original manufacturers. Superior is like I want to say is a generic, like if you buy a brand name, this is the generic, but it works. This, is built at the same specs and is approved by the FAA standards. So it's good to go. Kelly Aerospace, they manufacture what they call magnetos. Magneto is like, when I compare it to a car, the distributor that gives electricity and the spark for the spark plugs, basically. And obviously you got, yes. Correct. Like you have to have, I mean, the end user, if you want to call it, can't go to the factory and buy it. That's like a rule, Can you imagine you're manufacturing a product and you have like 1 million customers calling you to buy parts from you? You won't be able to, you either manufacture parts or sell parts. So they have to have someone to represent him with the parts. So our mission is we need to buy your parts. We need to keep them in stock and have them available for our customers. Their mission is to manufacture those parts. So we need to, yes. In certain products, they have minimum quantities, like you're buying screws or nuts and bolts, so well, you gotta have or buy a minimum of 100 or 200, or depends on, on the price.
Hello?
Yes. Yeah, but those parts, obviously you just buy one, Yeah. Yes. Okay. What do you mean, this communication?
Exactly, exactly. We are from South America, so we only have 1 hour difference, sometimes 2 hours different from Brazil right now is only 1 hour, so it's not that big of a difference. So we managed to work perfectly.
Yeah,
Now,
we get customers that they're 2 hours behind our time schedules, and sometimes they call you at 7 p.m. You're already home. But you say, well, I'll send me a note, and first thing in the morning when I get to the office, I'll reply back. And then, usually they understand, but sometimes they don't. They want to hear a good answer now. you know? And then sometimes they call you on a Saturday or a Sunday just to remind you that you need to help them first thing on Monday.
so that is some other manufacturers, like Bose, you guys probably know Bose, they the best on aviation headphones as well, just like I love Bose, so that is one of the favorites pilots as well.
And they're not cheap. You want to have a pair of headsets for an aircraft, it's $1,095. So you want to have great communication and good sound quality, get a Bose. Anybody else?
Yeah, it's still showing some products. That's the Magneto that he spoke with you guys about, the first one. And then some vacuum pumps, some oil filters,
Battery?
the batteries, oil filter, the headphone. That is like a
You know what an ELT is? Everyone knows what an
ELT,
ELT is.
emergency.
That's a major emergency locator transmitter.
Yeah.
I'll say is if that thing goes off, chances are you're dead.
Not good. You don't, you want to have it, but you don't want to use it.
All it is sends a signal where you land, where you fell. Once the aircraft crashes, it sends a signal, a distress signal, with the location. So rescue can come and find you, I guess, Hopefully you're alive.
Yeah, and then lights and tire.
Yes.
We do both. We have some end user clients, but we also serve like shops that they fix aircraft, so they come to us to buy parts. We sell to resellers as well, down south or even here, because the manufacturers, they have what they call authorized dealer. So not everyone can buy from the manufacturer. So some other company, they can be a reseller just like us, but let's say they're not authorized for one of the companies that we serve. So they still buy from us. And then airplanes is different than car, than other stuff that we have, because every part that you put on the aircraft, they have a number of hours that you can use. So let's say if I put a magneto and I have 150 hours to fly with it, nobody's going to wait until 200 hours to change that. So it's easier. We don't do a lot of cold calls because they call us. They need the parts. They know when they need to change, and they're not going to wait until that part give them a problem for them to change. So that's the easier part of our job. We
We
do.
do. We do.
We do, some end users, so those are people that has one aircraft or two or three. But usually, since we have the branch now in Brazil and down in Paraguay, so if they are end user, they usually buy more from them. From us, it's more the exploring, the one that's gonna do, a wholesale and then buy a lot and export themselves. This is the fun part of it.
These are some pictures of trade shows that we have participated before in the past. Aero Expo, that's in Mexico. This was here in the States. That's for ag, right? Ag planes.
That was Nevada.
Nevada. This is
Reno.
Sun and Fun. That's in
Lakeland.
Lakeland, Florida. Okay. Thanks for joining us. Anybody else? Yes, sir. Well, rejecting is an ugly word,
we
but
don't
we,
reject it.
we give them the sad news that the part's no longer available. We do our best, try to locate a used, good condition, because sometimes there's no option, Some parts are discontinued and we have to just find it, and then they take it to place, have it inspected, and then install it on the aircraft. Yes, sir. No, the way it works is customers will send us a list of requirements. I need all this, the 100-item list. So we submit a quote to them. He reviews it and then checks the prices. And obviously he has to make a decision, if he buys the whole thing or if he buys partial,
Yeah, every part that goes on an aircraft, it has something that's called part number. So everything goes by part number. So when the client comes to us, they usually have the list with all those parts that they need. And if they don't have, we'll make sure we ask them to go get the list because they can get it. And then we go by those numbers. But they usually contact us through email, WhatsApp, and phone calls the most.
Yes. Well, good question. See, we make money on the sell. We buy a part for a price and we sell it for profit. We don't charge customers for the service because, then they wouldn't come to us. A lot of times, if you have the knowledge, like I know how to locate a part, how to look at a manual and help him out. I try to help him out, but at the same time, I tell him, I'm going to try to help you, but you are responsible for what you have on your aircraft. If it's been modified, if I sell you a part, it's not the right part for your aircraft, then I'm at fault. So please check with your mechanic, make sure that you were getting the right part,
Yeah, here Kevin give us an explanation how that works. The customers usually contact us to check on prices. A sales representative, like that's what I do. William still does that. We quote them, and sometimes we do work for free, answering your question. A lot of times, sometimes we have to do like 10 times, and we're looking for parts everywhere we find them, and then they buy with someone else, just like any other resale. But then you build relationships and then you got to sell more. Yes.
There's a program that we have in this, it's a system, It's called quantum component control. And you have a database there where you have all your part numbers uploaded in the system with a price established and what we pay for it when we buy it from the manufacturer, So there's a history of the item. And then all the customers we upload them in the system. Every time a new customer comes in, we create an account for him with his name, his address, his phone number, email, and all that. So in the future, if he calls me back, I can pull up his information just by looking at a part number. I say, I quoted you this 6 months ago or 10 years ago. It's going to be in the system. Pardon? Yeah. Yes. Mhm.
They got to know what mostly other clients refer, by referral. So for me, like when I started work, they give me maybe a handful of clients that I start to work with them. And I did some calls. And then today I probably have about 5 to 10 different, companies that just contact me just by saying, oh, someone such and such, give me your information. Can you help me? And that's how they got to know us. If you do a good job, they're gonna say good things about you. So you gotta make sure you do a good job. Yeah.
Aviation's, people think it's big, but it's actually small. If you make a mistake, everyone will know. So better not screw it up, Anybody else? Yes. Like I said, we go to trade shows.
Yeah.
And then they advertise, and like, for example, in Mexico, they advertise the show, and then we get a lot of traffic in, and customers are looking for providers. So that's how we contact them.
Yeah, so I recently went to Brazil for a trade show there in July. It was like an ag show. Do you guys know what ag is? Like the croc duster, the ones that, so I was on that show and I probably met 100, 200 new clients over there, plus the ones that I already know. It's a 3-day show. So we got to go and stay there. And I'm going again on the 23rd to a different trade show in Brazil, but that one's more focused on like the shops, the ones that fix the aircraft. And we do a lot of business that way as well. So people get to know us there, they see us, and then we exchange informations, business cards, and then we go from that. Well, we're going back now because we are just stopped like everybody else for the COVID. But myself, I go to about 4 or 5 trade shows a year. And one is here in Lakeland. I go to Brazil, of course. That's where I'm from. And I'm going to go, Kevin, look away. I'm going to work for 4 days, but I'm staying in Brazil for almost 20 days. And every time I go, we got to do some fun stuff as well. I usually take my vacation when they send me where I want to go. I do my work and then I get vacation after.
Yes. You talking of ag planes? Okay. Yeah, we distribute. There's a company called Transland, right?
Mhm.
And then they sell all the sprayers and nozzles and all the equipment accessories to install on the aircraft to use it for spraying, for crop dusting.
Yeah, we sell everything that goes on an aircraft. Every single thing. If we don't have it, we get it and we sell it. And I actually personally do a lot of those ag planes. So yeah, we serve them a lot. Since they fly a lot different than a private jet, that they only fly a little bit. They fly every day from sunrise to sunset. So those are good clients. They need parts all the time. And yeah, we serve everything they need.
Yes, sir. we're busy every day. Sales every day. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's small and he
In a
was
sense, if
saying,
you compare it to the auto industry,
and they're like,
we're
everybody
we're
knows
like
everyone.
tiny compared to the auto industry. Yeah.
If we're gonna combine all orders together, like all the sales that we have more than 100 orders every day.
Well, affected us at first, the first 3 months were kind of hard because everything was on standstill. People couldn't go out or fly. There were a lot of lockdowns going on. So we, but after that, the people need to fly. They need a air ambulance. They need to transport,
Yeah, to be honest,
So for us was at
it
the
was
end,
good.
it was a good thing, a benefit. It was beneficial.
Mhm.
Right now it's hurting us a little bit because we can't get parts.
Yeah, the
certain
lead
parts.
time, it's hard right now.
There's no and not enough, suppliers right now, like the factories can't keep up because they stopped production for about 6 months. And then raw materials not coming in fast enough. Also, can't buy steel, rubber, what else? There's
We don't do like commercial airlines. We do private pilots, the most egg planes. The egg planes, they didn't stop. We still need to eat even during the pandemic. And we do serve a lot of those taxes, those medicals as well. I personally have a client down in Brazil. He has about 15 aircraft. And during the pandemic, since it's an ambulance, in the air, he told me he made more money than he ever before. So, and the private guys, the people who has private aircraft and they used to fly commercial, they couldn't. So they went back to fly the private ones. And the one who has money, they don't want to go on an aircraft full of people. So for us in the beginning, like for everybody else, nobody knew what's going to happen, but after was really good for us.
Alrighty, guys. So if you guys are interested, we have a couple of job opportunities for you guys. One of them being a sales representative. That's Isabel can definitely talk about her experience after this.
Yes, it's not really hard. I mean, you don't have to know everything about aircraft. Just you have to be a people person. Like you have to be able to talk, not be shy. And I used to work on the car business. And in 2008, when we have that crisis and most of the car dealers closed down, I went to Craigslist and I saw an ad that they were looking for someone who has customer service experience that speak Portuguese and Spanish. I was like, oh, all right. And then I went there, and then since I used to work with cars, the parts on our cars, believe it or not, it's very similar to aircraft. So that helped me a little bit. But other than that, I knew nothing about aviation. And we have manual in Portuguese. It's called manual. His dad's name is Aldo. So I usually say that I had a manualdo who teach me everything, and also William. And yeah, it's not easy, but we can learn.
And then next we have the information technology, which is IT. William can talk to you a bit more about that.
Well, I mean, it's as a business is growing, we need some more support when it comes to the computer systems, the networking and servers and updating databases and all that, because it takes out a lot of our time, my time. So if someone's interested and has some knowledge, and we can talk.
And then we have the accounting clerk, pretty self-descriptive, and the web dev and marketing assistant. So here's a QR code. If you guys fill that out, it has a couple of the job positions. You can write it down on there and let us know if you guys are interested or not.
And any other questions? Or- No, we're good. Well, I appreciate having me here and hope you guys have a wonderful night and a great week.
Thank you.
And like, our speakers were saying, William and Isabel, one of the main important things is the language, eliminating that barrier, between your customer bases. If you are especially going to get into business, especially international business, it's a really good idea to start speaking the language that people speak, because obviously translators, it complicates things. It takes up a lot of time. So if you don't learn a language, you don't know a second language, you start learning one, otherwise there's going to be competition, which is a big part of business as well. And a company's gonna come in that speaks that language. You know what I mean? So it's really important to start learning another language. Thank you guys so much for, coming out, William and Isabella, for your time. And really great engagement also, guys. Awesome questions, awesome conversation. Do you have any other questions?
Yes,
They're
I
still
do.
gonna
Can
be
you
up-
hear?
Oh, we have a Zoom question. Yeah, go ahead. We
Yes.
can hear you.
Okay, can you go back to the previous slide where you had posted the QR codes for the positions?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. All right, got it. Appreciate it.
People on Zoom, I think.
All righty. Thank you guys so much for coming by. Really appreciate it. Our next meeting is in 2 weeks from now, on Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. It is with Enterprise, the international car rentals. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, you have a question on Zoom?
No group photo today?
What was that?
No group photo today?
What are they saying? Can you
I said-
type your question? You have a question? Go ahead.
No, I was just saying the group photo, there's no group photo today?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna take group photo, everyone. So if you guys want to come down. Take a photo. Also, feel free to hang out after. We're all gonna be here. You guys can talk. Ask any questions. So if you guys want to make your way down here, we'll take a group photo. Yeah. What about the Zoom? Hey, what's up?
Wi-Fi from my phone uses to work.
Yeah,
I
no
wasn't
worries.
really able to get the WhatsApp.
No worries. at all.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll get you in. No worries. Yeah, no worries at all, man. Of course. If you want to be in the group photo, go ahead and throw your camera on if you're on Zoom. Yeah, maybe like
slide them
yeah.
across.
Go ahead and throw your camera on if you want to be in the Zoom like that. We got Carl. What's up, Carl?
Yeah, what's up, my boy? What's going on?
Kathy, you want to come? Here, take it on my. Eddie, you getting in the photo? Keyboard come in the front. You get the logo? Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you everyone for your time. Yeah, so the QR code right here. That did happen. Yeah, no worries. And scan this QR code here. Where are you going? Oh, we gotta go to the gym. Get it scanned. Did you start reading the books?
No, I'm almost done with work.
Thank you.
Which one? Which one?
I'll be set for that. Then you
Is
gotta.
that one for attendance? I got you a list. Yeah, that's the attendance for tonight. You scroll-
Yeah, I wasn't able to access the attendance.
There you go.
I don't know why.
Here's the attendance slip. If you need to scan the attendance link, here it is again, if you're on Zoom.
Yeah, I think that I was able to get.
Oh, yeah, no worries at all. Here, we can actually set up. You can sign up right here. There you go. That's accurate. New sign up. There you go, perfect. He's getting so mad. Thank you. What's up, bro? How are you, man? Go ahead, we'll go to when does Nine hours. That's 5 minutes for those, and 10 hours. And don't have to be. That's not something you might. Oh, you're working on it? Yeah. I got it.
Fun, I wanted to like I'm testing it out and I had one back. You know? I can't do it wherever I have to go. Literally, like I remember I told him I have one, I have two, I have one, and he just looked at us.
Oh, you have it?
And
I'm not the one in charge of. Yeah.
here on my head.
Gotta see what we're before.
I have one.
Isabel.